everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you are new. Today's video is going to be kind of the second part to this cell builder that we set up. So if I posted the videos on time, it should have been a week from each post. So the last video that we made on this was basically going and kind of not moving frames around, but a little bit, and getting them ready to be a cell builder. So if you want to check out that video, I'll leave the link here or there. I don't know which side it is. And it basically just explains what we did 2 days ago. So you'll see this video like a week apart, but the actual filming has been 2 days. So it is the 8th, and I think that would have been the 6th that we came into these hives. We have 3 of them going. We've got 2 in this yard, another one over there. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what we're doing today. So we pulled the queen out 2 days ago. So they're now queenless. They should be. And they know in literally just a couple minutes when they're queenless, so they'll start to make emergency cells. Now sometimes, like we had some last year that for some reason they really didn't make that many emergency cells, and I don't know what was up with that, but so sometimes they won't, but you'll usually know because there won't be like really any eggs. But you can wait a couple of days, 3 days, whatever, but we usually like to at least wait at least 2 days. That way all of the larvae that they can make queen cells out of, they're too old because there's no queen in here to keep making them, so they're too old at that point. So we just wait until, that way we don't have to come in every single day and tear down these cells. Okay, so this bucket is pretty full. Now, one of the things about buckets, once you've tipped them over that first time, I don't know if it's the whole theory on it, but we don't flip them back over because it can screw up the vacuum seal that it has there. About 5 minutes ago, we were all on our hands and knees looking for this stupid mic because I got a bee in my veil and I threw the veil off and the mic fell off. So we're all looking for it. We were just yelling, check, check, trying to find it. Anyways.
We should have done a clip of that.
I might have gotten one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Okay, so, should I mention these? I'm gonna wait to mention it, but I've got these little contraptions on here, which we're gonna make a whole video on. And I'm actually really excited about them, so I don't know when that's gonna come out, but it will soon. Okay, so we put these pollen patties on 2 days ago, and they've already eaten quite a bit of it, so we're gonna go ahead and put some more on today, just because this is one of the quotes that Bob Benny said while we were there. Even if you have a small honey flow going on or anything, go ahead and still give them a little bit of syrup or some type of feed on your cell builders. You know, if you have supers on, then no, but okay, so how this works is there's really no need to sort through anything, but I'm gonna take off this top box, and then I'm also gonna take off this bottom box. And you're gonna do a lot of shaking. Now, if you don't wanna shake bees, you don't have to. And you can just really carefully look through it. I'm gonna grab this box. So I'm basically just going through today and tearing down all of those emergency cells. That way, because once we graft, the emergency cells are going to be a little bit earlier than those grafts, so the emergency cells would come out first, and she would tear down all of those cells. So we got to go through and tear them down. I'm not going to rearrange anything. All I'm doing is taking the frames and shaking them, and then you look for emergency cells. So there's like the start of one right here. It could be an old one, but I'll still go ahead and just pinch it. Now the reason that I shake them is because you can see 100 times better. Because if you're looking at it like this, I mean, you can see, but there's a lot of bee coverage. But once you shake it, you can see that whole frame. Now some of them aren't going to have any, so you just throw it back in there. but it can be pretty fast, especially if you wear a jacket. There's nothing really on there. So I'll do this to both boxes. Because sometimes when you've got like a foundationless frame, they'll hide them up in there in that corner and you don't see them unless you shake them. Looks like this one has a couple on it. Yeah, like they like to tuck it in there. So I just smush them. There's a couple right there. That was kind of all I was going to mention, right? I feel like there's something I forgot to say. Oh, yeah. So in the last video, I talked about how we're gonna, when we pull that queen out, we'll come back and put her in. But the more I thought about it, talked to my dad about it, and he said we've never done that. I know for a fact, you do too.
Yes,
We have done that because I did it. He was there, but he doesn't remember it. There were like 4 things today I was telling him, and he's like, I don't remember that. I do. It's probably on video somewhere, actually. Sometimes these videos are good. Okay. Probably already cut them all down. Well, anyways, so we basically just made splits off of them, and then once we're done grafting, we'll just leave a cell for them. We'll usually leave like well, you don't really want to leave the whole frame in there, like that grafting frame, because they'll do a bunch of webbing on it, and it just does not work. So the last frame like this one, I can't stick it in there and shake it, so I usually just check it without shaking the bees. But the last frame typically is going to be all food, and there's not going to be any on there. But one of the things, if you want to get close, you can notice just all of the drones on here. I mean, you can just count them. So it's definitely grafting season. Right after we knock these cells down, we're going to drop some grafts in here. So I'm going to leave a frame out because it's just going to be a couple minutes before I put cells in here. So then with this box, just put that on top. You don't have to do the whole extra box thing, but I think it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, we'll see if there's anything on these ones. They also will continue to get syrup as long as they have grafts. We're just going to keep on feeding them. And we'll just do the bucket. You can do a frame feeder, but I like to do the buckets just on, honestly, all of the hives. Yeah, he did do both. I think that'll be in the next video. Well, there's a bunch of beetles on there. So we're gonna try this year. A lot of times we'll focus on, like, we have a specific set of things we like to look for grafting off of. And I've got like some videos on that, but it's just picking like your best hive. Like, which one do you like the most? Sorry. The nicest ones, the good production colonies. But one of the things we're gonna look for this year, ooh, they're lighting me up. Some people say you shouldn't wear a watch. I don't know. I don't usually have problems with it unless I'm filming. But this year we're gonna make sure we're gonna check for hives that reduce, I don't know if that's the right word, control beetles, because I didn't used to have a problem with them, and I used to say that on videos all the time, and within the last 2 years, I would say, they've gotten worse. So we're gonna focus on that, I think, a little bit. You can also use Swiffer sheets, unscented, right?
Yep.
And I think we're gonna put a couple of those on today too. Those work pretty good. One of these actually had it. I think it might have been that one. Okay, so there's a couple down here. They're just little cups right now, but I just pinch it. That one had an egg in it. That one didn't look like it, so that might have just been an old. So yeah, this is full of it. I didn't shake this frame very great, but that was a drone. Whoops. Yeah, these are all full of eggs, which is actually a good thing, because then I know they're queenless for sure. Never 100% though. Never say 100% on that. Yeah, these are the ones that they'll tuck it in. It's really not a whole lot of work, because even with the starter finishers that you make yourself by starting from literally scratch, just collecting a bunch of frames from other hives, you still have to do this, unless some people will make a starter finisher without any eggs in it. That way they can't make emergency cells, but come to find out, that's really hard to do, because most of those just brood frames have a ton of eggs on them. Yeah, you gotta be careful with these, because it's kind of a wonky frame, but it still works. That's drones, but it kind of looks like cups, so you just have to really check it. Especially in here, like there's a few there. A couple right there. Sometimes we'll go through them like on the second or third round too, just to maybe add some brood to them or something, and you can check again. But as long as there's no queen in there, really won't have to do this again. We'll probably do a grafting video at some point this year. I was thinking about that today. I don't know. We definitely did one last year, didn't we? I think we always do at least one. It's funny because I've kind of gotten to the point where it's just like another grafting day, but I know there's a lot to learn on that always. So, but I think we've kind of got our system down for right now. We just do, I mean, I'd like to say we do what Bob does, but Bob's is a lot more organized. But we just use an enclosed trailer, and it's hot in there. Okay, so this is that last frame, so I'm just gonna check it. There's a little bit of brood over there. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna get honey all over the sides here because this frame is pretty full. Oh, shoot, yeah. Whoops, I almost forgot. So I'm actually gonna pull one of these frames because I'm gonna put in a foundation. So I'm gonna put that probably right here. I could probably take that frame, but there is quite a bit of food on there. So if I could find a little bit more of an empty frame, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Maybe I'll take this kind of wonky, let's see. I don't want to take brood. Yeah, that's got some brood on it. I'll just end up taking that food frame. Or let's just take this. There's some drones on it, but okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in a foundation list after I graft, because we're gonna have to pull 2 frames out. You know what? That is a problem for Dad, because I'll graft while he does this. So the point of the foundation is to hopefully help with webbing, because when your grafts, they've got all that extra space in between each one. So sometimes, oof, she got me. Sometimes whenever, I don't know, you're feeding them quite a bit, so they're ready to build some wax, they'll just put a bunch of webbing over it, and it gets really hard to take those cells off. I'm sure some people have seen it, but we've had issues with it before. So the point is, hopefully this will give them something to do a little bit and distract them. I wouldn't technically put it next to the graft frame, but because we're gonna offset it, that way the syrup doesn't drip right on top of it. I'm just gonna put it on the outside here. So hopefully it kind of keeps them busy and helps with webbing, but hopefully all that made sense. So then there's all these bees So I just shake that, and then I'll shake the lid here too because there's quite a bit of bees. And then we will go graft and drop a frame in here. So that's kind of the update on that. I know we do these videos every year, but we also learn from it every year and we do different things. I don't think we did the foundation last year actually, but I'm gonna take this frame because this is a good food frame, and we will store this for another hive or maybe a nuke. But I think that's it. I'm gonna put this syrup on just for now, and then it'll come right off, but I can still feed on it for a little bit. Okay, I think that's it, right?
Did you want to do any grafting or no?
On this video?
Yeah.
I think let's just make a separate video.
Okay.
We literally just shoot these videos and wing it, clearly. I think we'll do a separate video on grafting. We're gonna graft probably close to once a week. We'll graft next Tuesday. We can film it then.
Okay.
But I think that's it. So thanks for watching today's video. Follow along more bee adventures and be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.